መሬቱ ከእግሬ ስር ሰማዩ ከላይ ነው መሬቱ ከእግሬ ስር ሰማዩ ከላይ ነው ይዣለው አየሩን በሳምባዬ ውስጥ በሳምባዬ ውስጥ በሳምባዬ ውስጥ በልባችን ያለው አንድ ነው ደማችን በልባችን ያለው አንድ ነው ደማችን
I'll be really honest, Ethiopia came from James. That was 1 year ago, and we had a 3-month-old baby, and my head was full of nappies, pee, poo, and how to survive the next night. I mean, I think in a normal situation I would have been able to place Ethiopia on the map, but I think I might have even asked on which continent it was.
Coming to Africa with a baby, yeah, might be shocking for a lot of people to hear, but why not? We wanted to bring him here to share with him our experience, but actually in reality I think we're here with him sharing his experience of Africa. He looks at camels and donkeys for the first time with these giant, wondrous eyes. I guess for us, life's all about curiosity and not being afraid of the unknown. It's that kind of drive you have within just to go look around the corner and just see what's there. I guess we're trying our best as parents to lead by example, and we want Arthur to be part of this trip not only for him to experience the now, but also because he'll be able to draw strength and courage from it in the future.
As we traveled through the north of Ethiopia, we saw all these churches. Some of them, you can see the access is makeable. Some of them, they're like 30, 60, or even 70 meters up the cliff. And at an era where there were no dynamic ropes, no modern protections, it's so impressive actually to come closer and to see what has been done so long ago. All of that in the name of faith. That made us curious. We wanted to see how hard the climbing was going to be there, you know.
Our first objective for the trip was Sheba Tower, this amazing tower first climbed by Pat Littlejohn, who's a bit of a legend in British trad climbing way back in 2005. You can really understand why Pat would have chosen this tower as the first tower he climbed in Tigrey, as it's basically the most visually impressive tower in the region. It's somewhere around 150 meters high, definitely the highest tower that we've seen here, and it's got this huge crack running all the way from the floor to the summit. I mean, the thing is so big that you can see it from the road, and I guess the general rule of thumb is whenever you can see a crack like that looks like it's going to be a hand crack or maybe a wide crack, actually it's going to be much, much bigger than that. The first pitch is somewhere around 40 to 50 meters long, and I think I placed 2 pieces of gear, which is not very normal.
It is actually really incredible, this Shiba Tower. You have this giant 150-meter tower, and pretty much the only way up is up this chimney, and it actually is a crack that just breaks the whole tower. It's just about the right width for a human to just squeeze up. Every single time you take a new hold, you have to like bump on it to kind of break whatever is not solid. And then when you place your foothold, you have to like crunch everything and go with whatever's left. And if you go faster than that, for sure you'll fall.
At some point you step out from the inner sanctums of the tower and get onto the summit, and it's just incredible.
All around you down there is these yellow plains. It's standing on top of the tower like that is simply magical. I think this is exactly why we came.
One thing that I definitely didn't think about bringing Arthur on this trip with us is how easy it's been to connect with the local people thanks to Arthur. As soon as they see you walking down the street, everybody just wants to come over and look at him, touch his hand, give him a kiss, say hello. And Arthur's really cool. He interacts with these people in such crazy, wonderful ways that really, you know, everyone's been totally in love with him. And through that, I guess, ice-breaking experience, it's like suddenly Arthur makes everything possible.
James and I really wanted Arthur to be a citizen of the world. We don't feel French or English, we feel human, and we really want Arthur to be like that. We want him to remember, either consciously or via the pictures, that he's been there. He'll know that when he was 1, he did it already. He climbed this mountain. Okay, he was on my back. You know, he doesn't have to cross this big barrier into the unknown. I think it makes a massive difference between the what can I do and what can I not do. He'll know that he can do it because he's already done it anyway.
So we climbed a few more of the existing towers in the region just to get a feel of things. And then, well, it was time to go look for our own thing.
We took days to search for the best tower, and that one, I don't know, there was something really special about it. Maybe the fact that it was leaning so much and it looked like it was about to fall. The problem was there was no crack whatsoever, no easy path up. It meant we would have to climb up the face. I'm heartbroken this morning. Every morning we leave Arthur with Jane and my dad to take care of him all day, and yesterday he played with the kiddos of the village, so I think he had a really cool day. But then he didn't manage to fall asleep for his first snooze today, so when we left, Arthur was crying out of his mind, and that makes me really... But I think you can be selfish as a parent and want adventure, and this is a place where clearly we can't bring Arthur, as long as you made sure your baby's having a great time. And I think he's way happier playing than like climbing up with us. And he's not roasting, which is for a white British, half British baby, you know, sun is a big problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up here. So we should not have to haul it in the bag.
As soon as we started, I think James went for the lead, and he took about 2 hours to do 5 meters. And I think this is really the moment where both him and I, we knew our chances were not very high.
The rock here takes things to another level completely. Sometimes you get these strange iron deposits on the face of the rock, which seem to be good holds, but they're glued to the rock by this very, very unstable sandstone. And if these things protrude and make decent grips, basically they just break off as soon as you put any weight on them. When you're not climbing on the iron rock, you're climbing on just very loosely held together sand. So much so that if you just rub the surface with your fingers, you can see all the grains coming off immediately. And any small gear, if it doesn't pull through straight away, you might be lucky and be able to fall on it once before the placement explodes and it's ruined forever. So it is a very, very complicated rock to climb on. Okay. Okay.
Come here. Seriously. Good job. This is mental. I'm serious, huh? This is really mental.
It's okay. Be careful.
You didn't know. You don't know.
Alright. Bad news is next pitch looks worse. It's your turn.
James only gets cramps when he's done dangerous climbing, and he was climbing like that, you know?
Must be getting on for about 5 p.m. and Caroline is setting off up the next pitch. I think we're both pretty tired. I've got loads and loads of cramps from basically, I don't know, hammering and hanging around and just doing all sorts of silly things. But Cara's still got some energy, so we're pushing on and we'll see how far she can get before we decide to call it a day.
If James hadn't been at the end of his life, I would have never stepped in, but I had to. I went through the whole process of like every hold you take, you're like, oh my god, I can't do it. And like you're kind of really like shooting yourself, basically. You know this moment where your stomach is kind of liquefying a little bit? Like this was really happening. And he was like, you're doing good. You're doing super well. Like, just exactly the way he was encouraging me through birth. It was getting the end of the day, and I really wanted to finish that pitch because we would have to fix the ropes, and it was much better to be able to finish the pitch. But I had to basically mantle and like palm on top of a pebble because that's all that there was. The whole time I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And somehow I didn't fall and it was fine and I finished the pitch. And we went down. It's going to take forever to pass that.
I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. But it'd be cool standing on top.
If it's not full of cactus.
Might be full of cactus. We're back today to try and finish it off. We're going to try and free all the pitches that we climbed yesterday and had to stop to maybe check out some gear or place a piton. And so hopefully today is the day. We're going to be on top of that thing a little bit later.
Yesterday was definitely the first time I really went for adventure climbing since I was born. Physically, I'm fully on it. Mentally, I'm fully on it as well. I just didn't have any practice time for tri climbing because we were mainly focusing on bouldering. You can't do multi-pitch tri climbing with your baby. You have to have somebody to take care of it. So it's the first occasion we had, and we just went for Ethiopia Desert Shitty Sandstone Tower. Okay.
There's a few theories going around as to why they built these churches in these incredibly isolated, hard-to-reach places. You know, one being that they wanted to be all alone so they could focus 100% on their religion. Another obviously being the higher up you go, the closer to God. I'm not a religious person, but having stepped on the top of one of these towers for the first time and felt the power that brings, I think I can understand why they want to be up there.